The 12 Guardian Ninja. The 12 Guardian Ninja were an elite squad handpicked to protect the Daimyō of the Land of Fire, the leaders of the whole country. These weren't just your average ninja. Each member had to go through brutal training and intense trials just to earn this prestigious title. And the signature look? Each Guardian rocked a scarf with a fire emblem, representing their absolute loyalty and the honor they carry. Now, power-wise, are they the strongest group in Naruto? Nah, of course not. But they are definitely one of the most formidable forces. After all, they protect the royal bloodline of the Fire Nation. That's some serious responsibility. Among them, two standout names are Asuma Sarutobi, the third Hokage's son, who wielded those chakra-infused knives, and Chiriku, the head monk of the Fire Temple, who flexed his crazy strong Buddhist jutsu. And while the group may have been scattered over time, they still held major political weight. How do we know that? Their heads had a bounty of over 30 million ryo each on the black market. That's when you know you're kind of a big deal. But first, huge shout out to everyone who's been rocking with the channel every day. You, and you. All of you. Without you guys, these videos would just be floating around the internet like lost jutsu scrolls. Every view, every comment, every like or share is the ultimate chakra boost that keeps me going, diving into anime, breaking down epic fights, and exploring the Naruto universe. So, seriously, thank you for being part of this journey. Next goal, 10K subs, and I know we can do it. Let's keep pushing forward together. Love you all. Anbu. Anbu is an elite special ops unit in the Naruto world, answering directly to the Kage. It was established with the purpose of protecting the village and carrying out top-secret missions. Anbu operates in the shadows, with its members' identities hidden behind their iconic masks. So, are they strong? Yes, ridiculously strong. Just look at Itachi Uchiha and Kakashi Hatake. Itachi, a once-in-a-century genius from Konoha, with perfect Sharingan, exceptional genjutsu, and superior assassination skills, is considered one of the strongest members to ever exist. Then there's Kakashi, with his one-of-a-kind Sharingan and next-level battle IQ, helping build Anbu's fearsome reputation. This organization is where the best ninjas gather, with diverse abilities ranging from combat and intelligence to assassination. Throughout Naruto's storyline, Anbu plays a huge role, whether it's protecting the Kage, gathering intel, or infiltrating enemy nations. More than that, this organization adds serious depth to many characters' stories, especially Itachi, whose sacrifices for the village hit on a whole different level. And if we're talking about Anbu, we have to talk about Root. Root is the dark side of Anbu, a secret organization founded by Danzo Shimura as an independent branch of it. It operates outside the Hokage's control with the goal of protecting the Hidden Leaf Village by any means necessary. What made Root terrifying was its brutal training methods. Members were forced to erase their emotions, turning into perfect, unfeeling tools of war. No hesitation, no mercy, just pure efficiency. Their loyalty to Danzo was absolute, and to make sure of that, he slapped a curse seal on them. This little gift prevented them from ever spilling any secrets about Root or its shady leader. Yeah, this group was extreme. Now, in terms of raw power, Root wasn't just some random cult. These guys were highly skilled, trained killers, each specializing in different forms of combat. And at the top of it all, Danzo himself, a kind of nightmare with Hashirama's cells in his arm and a whole collection of Sharingan. He could spam Izanagi multiple times. And then, of course, we have Sai, one of Root's most well-known members. His ink jutsu allowed him to bring his drawings to life, using them for combat, scouting, and even assassination. But the real strength of Root wasn't just in their individual skills. It was their cold, their ruthless discipline, and their absolute prioritization of the mission, no matter how inhuman the decision had to be. In the Naruto story, Root plays one of the most controversial roles. These guys were involved in some of the darkest events in Konoha's history: the Uchiha downfall, political assassinations, and even their own shady plans during Pain's invasion. But despite all that, Sai's journey showed something important: that even the most emotionally suppressed soldier could rediscover friendship and humanity. And in a world where Naruto represents hope and connection, Root stands as the perfect contrast, an example of what happens when you put the mission above everything else. The 4 reincarnated Hokage. When the Fourth Great Ninja War hit its most intense moment, Orochimaru pulled off one of the craziest moves in Naruto history, reanimating the 4 legendary Hokage using Edo Tensei. And let's be real, this was easily one of the most overpowered teams ever assembled in the series. We got Hashirama Senju, the literal god of Shinobi, with wood release strong enough to manhandle tailed beasts, and Jinchuriki. Then there's Tobirama Senju, the genius behind most of the ninja world's deadliest jutsu, Hiruzen Sarutobi, the professor who mastered every single technique in the Leaf Village. And finally, Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash, rocking high-level flying Raijin and a fully mastered Nine Tails Chakra mode. When the 4 Hokage work together, they create an overwhelming combined power with a variety of ninjutsu, ranging from wood, water, to advanced sealing techniques and space-time ninjutsu, which very few ninjas can stand up against. The moment they appeared was extremely epic. The allied shinobi forces were struggling hard against a massive tailed beast bomb. Then, boom, Minato shows up out of nowhere and casually teleports that thing like it's a beach ball. Just like that, the battlefield completely shifted, giving the Alliance a much-needed breather. But this wasn't just about flexing legendary power. Their revival also played a crucial role in shaping the story. Sasuke got the history lesson of his life. Naruto finally had his first real conversation with Minato, an emotional, unforgettable moment that pushed him to new heights. These 4 weren't just reanimated warriors, they were a living connection between the past and the present, proving why the Hokage legacy is one of the most powerful forces in the Naruto world. Akatsuki. Alright, let's talk about Akatsuki, the squad that had every ninja village shaking in their sandals. Originally, this group started with Yahiko, Nagato, and Konan, dreaming of bringing peace to the world. Sounds noble, right? Well, that dream kinda went out the window after Yahiko died. That's when Obito Uchiha, aka Discount Madara, took over and turned Akatsuki into a straight-up criminal organization, all for the big Moon's Eye plan, basically ninja world domination through genjutsu. Now, what made Akatsuki terrifying wasn't just their goal, it was who was in the squad. These guys weren't your average rogue ninjas. They were S-rank, top tier, I can wipe out a village level threats. And they didn't work solo. They operated in pairs, with duos designed to complement each other's abilities. You got Haiden and Kakuzu, the immortal freak show. Then there's Sasori and Deidara, 2 artists who just love to argue about whose art is superior. And individually, every single Akatsuki member was a problem. Pain and his Rinnegan literally nuked the Hidden Leaf in one attack. Itachi, dude had the ultimate genjutsu, Amaterasu, and Susanoo, basically a one-man army. And yeah, Kisame was swimming in chakra, literally, and had Samahada, a sword that eats chakra. Then there's Zetsu, the ultimate spy who was just everywhere. But if we're talking raw power, Pain and Obito were hands down the strongest, capable of taking down almost anyone who crossed them. Akatsuki wasn't just a bunch of villains causing chaos, they were game changers in the Naruto storyline. Pain's invasion of the Leaf is easily one of the most iconic arcs in the series. It didn't just give us one of the biggest fights ever, it pushed Naruto's growth as a character and forced him to truly understand the pain of the ninja world. Love them or hate them, Akatsuki left a legacy that reshaped the entire shinobi world. The Allied Shinobi Forces. The Allied Shinobi Forces was a game changer in the Naruto world. Literally the first time in history that the 5 great nations decided to set aside their conflicts and fight together. Formed by the Leaf, Sand, Cloud, Mist, and Stone villages, this massive ninja alliance had one goal: shut down Obito's Moon's Eye plan and stop the ultimate threat to the ninja world. And they weren't just a random bunch of shinobi thrown together. These guys were organized into specialized divisions, showcasing professionalism and strategy in large-scale combat operations. Now, let's talk power. This army was huge, really huge. We're talking about roughly 80,000 ninjas from all over the world, each village bringing its own unique strengths. The Leaf had the fire strength, and I have to say, Team 7, the sand brought their sand manipulation, puppet jutsu, and the wind power. The clouds specialized in high-speed lightning-style techniques. The mist had some of the most versatile water-style jutsu. And the stone? Those guys were tanks, masters of earth-style defense. And of course, we have to mention the 5 Hokage. Yeah, the 5 strongest ninja in the world were leading the charge. Add in a fully functioning medical and intelligence network, and you've got a legit war machine. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, the Allied forces held their ground against Madara's White Zetsu army and a bunch of resurrected legendary ninjas brought back by Edo Tensei. Some of the most insane battles in Naruto happened during this war, like the 5 Kage going up against Madara Uchiha, which actually didn't go too well for them, or the entire army teaming up to take on the Ten Tails. Sure, they took some heavy losses, but their teamwork, determination, and never give up attitude played a huge role in the final victory. If we're talking pure power, the allied Shinobi forces obviously couldn't match the god-tier abilities of Madara or Kaguya, but with their insane numbers, diverse skill sets, and sheer grit, they were definitely one of the strongest forces in Naruto history. More than that, their legacy proved one thing: when the ninja world puts aside its grudges and fights together, they can take on anything, even threats straight out of mythology. The 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist. Well, one of the most badass and terrifying groups in Naruto, the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist. These guys are basically the elite killers of Kirigakure, known for their insane sword skills and their straight-up brutal nature. I mean, their village had a tradition where academy students had to kill each other just to graduate. Yeah, that's the kind of place that produced these monsters. Each of them wields a unique sword with its own crazy abilities, making them a squad you definitely wouldn't want to mess with. First up, we've got Zabuza Momochi with Kubikiri Bocho, aka the Executioner's Blade, a massive sword that literally regenerates by absorbing the iron from its victim's blood. Creepy, right? But if we're talking raw power, Kisame Hoshigaki with Samehada takes the crown. His sword is basically alive, eats chakra for breakfast, and lets Kisame fight on par with a tailed beast. Absolute menace. Then there's Mangetsu Hozuki, who could use all 7 swords, making him basically the GOAT of the group. Raiga Kurosuke had Kiba, twin lightning blades that could fry his enemies with thunder attacks. Jinpachi Munashi wielded Shibuki, a sword strapped with explosives. Because why just cut people when you can blow them up too? Kushimaru Kuriarare with Nuibari had a sword that worked like a giant sewing needle, literally stitching his enemies together mid-fight. And finally, Amayuri Ringo, who dual-wielded the Kiba blades and could send lightning crackling through her enemies like a human taser. One of their signature moves was the hiding in mist jutsu, which let them fight completely unseen in a thick fog. Pair that with their legendary silent killing technique, and you've got a squad that could wipe out an army before anyone even realized what was happening. From a story perspective, Zabuza and Haku were the first real wake-up call for Naruto, showing him just how brutal the ninja world could be. And when the whole group got revived with Edo Tensei in the Fourth Great Ninja War, we have absolute chaos. Are they as strong as the Akatsuki or the Kage? Probably not. But when it comes to elite swordsmen, these guys are in a league of their own. Their strength comes from their unique weapons, their specialized fighting styles, and their deadly teamwork. The Sound 5. The Sound 5 weren't just some random thugs. These guys were handpicked and trained by Orochimaru himself, turning them into his personal elite team. What made them stand out was that damn cursed seal. Only 10% of people survived the process, but if you did, congrats. You just leveled up big time. Not only did this seal give them insane power boosts, but it also showed their absolute loyalty. These guys would literally die for Orochimaru without hesitation. Now, strength. Kimimaro Kaguya was on another level. His Shikotsu Myaku let him manipulate his own bones, turning them into deadly weapons. And trust me, he was this close to sending both Gaara and Rock Lee straight to the afterlife. Orochimaru was obsessed with his power. He even wanted to use Kimimaro's body as his next vessel. But fate had other plans. Kimimaro had a terminal illness. Then we have Kidomaru, the 6-armed sniper who could shoot chakra-infused arrows with pinpoint accuracy. Sakon and Ukon could literally merge with their enemies and destroy them from the inside. Gross, but effective. Jirobo was the muscle, absorbing chakra and tossing people around like ragdolls. And Taiyuya played some creepy flute genjutsu that could mess with your mind so hard, plus she had 3 demon summons to back her up. Each of them had their own unique abilities, making them serious threats. In the story, the Sound Five were a huge deal in the Sasuke retrieval arc, giving us some of the best 1v1 fights in Naruto. Their battles against Shikamaru's squad pushed our Leaf Ninja to their limits, forcing them to grow stronger in the heat of combat. And I gotta say, the Kimimaro vs Rock Lee and Gaara fight is straight up legendary. Watching Gaara, a Jinchuuriki, struggle against him was proof that this guy was the deadliest of the bunch. Probably the strongest member of the Kaguya clan we've ever seen. If we're ranking them, the Sound Five weren't exactly top tier shinobi, but they were definitely a significant presence at the mid-level. Kara. Kara is this super mysterious and ridiculously strong organization that pops up in Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. The whole point of Kara is that they want to replant the God Tree using the power of the Ten Tails. Yeah, sounds like another big trouble, but here's the kicker. Kara is not just about regular ninja jutsu. They're using next-level cutting-edge ninja science technology that's light years ahead of what the ninja world has ever seen. This organization is split into 2 main groups, inner and outer, and while the outer members are no slouches, it's the inner crew who bring the true strength. These guys have insane abilities and some crazy destructive tech. So it's not just about chakra anymore. They can alter their bodies and even use high-tech weapons that make them a pain to fight against. Let's break it down a little. The power of Kara mainly comes from the exceptional individuals in the inner group. Jigen, Ishiki, the leader, possesses Otsutsuki power with terrifying speed and techniques. Code, the inheritor of Ishiki's will, is a major threat with his white karma and superior combat abilities. The inner members like Delta, Boro, Koji Keishin, and outer members like Victor from the manga and Deepa from the anime filler all have dangerous skills. Kara has had a profound and conflict-filled impact on the world of Boruto, pushing him and his team into unprecedented challenges. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sasuke were fighting for their lives against Ishiki, the biggest threat they've ever encountered. Sure, Kara fell apart after Ishiki's death, but the impact they left behind is still there. Code is still out there, keeping the legacy alive and making sure Kara's influence doesn't just disappear. This whole mess has changed the game for the next generation of ninjas. The world's in a pretty unstable spot, and it looks like Boruto and his friends have their work cut out for them. We've only just scratched the surface of what's to come. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.